Hey guys, HappyCattyCrypto here and welcome back to the channel. So sadly it's Sunday, it's almost Monday, we get to begin the whole process all over again. Has anybody watched Monkey Man yet? Let me know in the comments if you've watched Monkey Man. I'm not even lying, it's like John Wick on steroids mixed in with the best Bollywood film you've ever seen in your life. So let me know if you've seen that. I'm so impressed with that film. It's definitely the best one I've watched so far in 2024. I don't know if you guys are into films. I'm really into films. It's something that's kind of a guilty pleasure. I get to sit down, get the popcorn out and really chill out. So really good news. This proposal has been lifted from the deposit phase into the voting phase. So whoever added to the deposit of this, thank you very much. I guess this person will be very happy. I'm very happy as well because this proposal in itself, and I'm gonna give everybody my honest opinion. I'm probably gonna put this on Twitter as well as to my thoughts on this whole thing overall, because there are a lot of arguments back and forwards as to this just being a text-based proposal. People won't adhere to it. There's no punishment if this does passes, and there's lots of things that I kind of want to give my point on. So let me start by saying the argument really has always been that there is no rule that states double or network validating on LUNC is not allowed. So introducing a simple rule that we as validators agreed to is really what defines DeFi. It's a 21st century handshake, and that is what DeFi is, an agreement between consensus. So once a rule is passed via governance, those breaking it can be pursued, right, if they don't adhere to this in due course. So in my opinion, right, this is not something that you can simply just take, bundle it all together and push it 10 miles. Instead, this needs to be pushed in incremental stages. Instead, we really need to do this inch by inch, going slow, going steady, and doing it so it's not confusing. Because if you think about it, right, if you try to introduce instant punishments such as tombstoning or miner slashing alongside that first initial rule, it's going to be far too much. And the reason why I think that is, I want to let everybody know I support the fact that it doesn't state double or network validating is unacceptable. All right, I totally see that. I acknowledge it and I understand and I respect that there is no rule. So let's introduce a rule as a first step. Like I was saying, if DeFi is DeFi and it's this 21st century handshake and we make an agreement under consensus, then we should be able to, in fact, do this. So like I was saying, it doesn't state double or network validating is not okay. So let's just introduce a simple rule as a first step. Allow the validators to abide by it unforcefully. And this is what DeFi is all about. Doing things on your own accord, doing things because it is an agreement via consensus. So proposal 12101, right? It may seem simple, but what I want everybody to understand is how profound its impact actually is, right? It's going to reveal who stands for centralization and centralized validating methods, Sybil attacks. And inherently, it promotes the centralization of this chain. So all of those that vote this down are, like I was saying, inherently promoting the centralization of this chain. And then furthermore, they're supporting circumvention of the dynamic commission module. So it's also going to spotlight, right? And this is the pros and cons to this proposal. It's also going to spotlight those who are advocating, right, for the decentralization of the Columbus 5 blockchain, being Terra Classic, right? Supporting its growth, fostering in those DeFi principles, and upholding the ethical DeFi standards. If a validator wishes to continue double or network validating once a rule like this is passed, it will be seen as unethical and unacceptable. They'll lose trust based on this new rule, and it may force them, right, into running in the shadows, unreliant on their brands. So what I finally want to point out here, before we have a little talk about some other stuff, is many validators have voted down many proposals based on a text proposal rule which was paid per job, a theoretical module that was never developed. So my thought is, if they can adhere and vote down developers based primarily on the text proposal which was paid per job, then they should in fact be able to adhere to this. So myself, I'm going to be rallying behind this. This is going to get a yes vote from me, right? Because it's the first step. And once again, straight away, look at these people who are for centralization, for double network, and all of the tomfoolery that comes with it. These are the people who are for this, right? And this community needs to understand that Hexagon is now all like at all nodes. They provide non-custodial services to people. For them, this is bad for business. This means that if someone who's renting infrastructure through them makes it big and they want to spin up a second node, they wouldn't legally be able to do that, right? Because we've introduced a rule through governance. And then clearly, you know who's going to be no with the vetoes. That's Jesus is Lord. And the likelihood Terraport, Terra C Vita, and Terra Casino will all vote no to this because inherently they're networking. So we've got all of these different things, right? But like I was saying, this proposal is so much more powerful than anybody thinks. Right? We've gone over this many times and we always kind of point out the fact that this is always going to be the case when you go to Commonwealth, you create a discussion, and then you go to the proposal phase. People start to write news articles. They pick up on these kind of things. Community revises LUNC burn tax to raise minimum commission for validators. Community turning down highly debated proposal. This is all stuff about proposals. And for me, this was the best way to raise awareness to it. So my hat's off to this person that everybody keeps saying, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? It's not me. I would have just created the proposal myself. I would have just proposed it. I would have just put it forward and I would have just done what I'm doing now. So what's the benefit to not proposing it myself? Do you see where I'm coming from? So all of these kind of things that all of these people use and they're like, oh, you know, it's just HCC and stuff like that. There's no benefit to me pretending not to do it. It just doesn't make, none of that makes any sense whatsoever. Like none of it even adds together. That's like adding 1 and 1 together and going, oh yeah, that means 4. No, absolutely insane in the membrane. So yeah, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, if you've watched Monkey Man, let me know. Absolutely insane. So a little drip here for my Penguin community. We're getting very close to a test build. We've been working on our metaverse for around 2 years. We've been doing it quietly and we've been funding it ourselves. Very close to a test build. I'm very excited to be one of the first people on Lunar Classic to just be an individual, a guy working on his own with no one around him. Not taking anything from his NFT project and bringing forward an amazing metaverse for my NFT owners on top of all of their amazing rewards that they get, their airdrops that they get, all of the different things that are going on. So it's going to be a really good time moving forward. If you haven't watched all of my previous videos here, especially the one before this one, go and watch it, right? The realization is kicking in for them. And it really is this simple, okay? They've got 2 choices in these circumstances and only 2. Okay. They can let TFL and the SEC liquidate them, or they can liquidate the SEC and TFL. So someone is going to bust the other one. I really try not to swear on YouTube, but you get my point. You get my gist. Someone is going to be the loser in this whole situation, and I don't think it should be the Luna holders. They should accept and acknowledge that they never wanted the Luna chain to begin with, and this is what we're starting to see across board. We're actually starting to see drips and drabs of these kind of conversations coming up across board. Many different people who have always been huge Luna advocates are now coming forward, and they're raising all of these different concerns. They're saying all of these different things. And all of these things added together, right, it starts to build up. It starts to build up. So I've just grabbed a screenshot here. And this is going to be, this is where karma kicks in. This is where it becomes golden. I love it. And these kind of things make me very happy. So we've got Will Shen saying, why does TFL have to be the entity to revive the Terra 2 chain? Embroiled in legal battles, no Lunar incentives, tarnished reputation, bankruptcy. CP can fund somebody else to do so. that. The problem for me is Terra 2 was launched without knowing what it wanted to be. And you've got another person saying it's a network that nobody asked to exist. People wanted to revive Terra, not create a new network. It has no soul. It has no special use. It was a mistake to put money and attention into that instead of figuring out how to revive the old network. And although, right, and I don't measure engagement on likes, retweets, or comments, this is all that's important to me. On the right-hand side here, that metrics that shows us this has had 10.3k people look at it. Whether they agreed with it, whether they accepted it, whether they engaged with it, they acknowledged it. And as this starts to roll out, as the battles start to kick in, as they start to realize how screwed they are, they're going to think to themselves real quick, well, what we should do is all at the same time, start undelegating. Everybody does it at the same time, a coordinated undelegation across board. And they do it as quick as possible. Pass a proposal between all of the validators within 7 days, which introduces a 1-day unbonding period. Everybody unbond within the 24 hours of what you have access to. All of the validators shut down after that, and you completely kill the network. You kill the network before the SEC and TFL kill the network for you. The only difference is you'll be left with something you have to look at, right? And then the biggest difference is going to be you guys won't be left holding the bag. You won't get 0. Maybe you'll get 10. Maybe you get 20. Maybe you get 30. Who knows? But the longer you guys leave it, the worse it's going to get. So if you're here from the Luna community, I'm here. I've always been here. I've been here for 2 years, right? We're going to be here for you for the indefinite future. And what I believe is if we can get these sort of rules in place, if we can start to get everybody to agree to things that, like they have been with the pay per job, we can start to make these changes. And in my opinion, right now, the smartest thing for us to do, I'm going to be doing an individual video about this, but we should increase the active set back to 130. And we should say to them, look, we've got all of these slots open, right? We've opened up another 30 slots for you guys. Consider coming over. Don't say to them, oh, we're going to open it if you guys agree to come over. Just open it. Open the doors, offer them an opportunity, turn the light on, leave a pie on the window, and leave it as that. Don't push them into it. Don't anger them. Don't bicker with them. Just be quiet, because karma has got a very strange way of coming around. And I really do believe it's Luna Classics time. I really do. Like everything that's happened recently, and I've been saying this and I'll keep saying it, this is perfect for us. We couldn't have anticipated a better situation to play out for us as a blockchain. We really couldn't, because the main discussion is where can they deploy Enterprise Alliance? Payments down, labor market. Guess what, guys? You can launch it here. You can launch it here. Like I said to everybody, I wasn't interested in TFL. I wasn't interested in Luna. I was interested in those modules they had to offer. And because they're open source, right, we can get access to them. We can take a copy of them and we can do it. Genuine Labs are supposedly and have been preparing us for Alliance, for all of the system which builds out that ecosystem. They've been developing towards it. So hopefully we're primed for this position. All we really need to do is get a proposal up to more or less open the active set back up to 30 more validators. And that would be the smartest marketing ploy that you could do right now. Like really that you could do right now. Because they've got their own funding. It's very simple for them to bridge their assets from Luna to Luna Classic again. They all love UST. They've all got knowledge as to how the system worked previously. They all wanted to revive this thing. So it's all very interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Let me know what you've been up to this weekend. Let me know what you're sipping on. Let me know what coffee beans you're drinking on. Just let me know. If you're new here, subscribe, drop a comment, drop a like, hit the notifications bell. And other than that, guys, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.